Hey everyone, I'm trying to be all professional, Kerri, and the video just decides to freeze. But guess what? It froze on. It froze on you, my friend. It froze on you. Your face is going like that, like you're ready for one of our bacon egg rolls here in the cafe. Welcome everybody to the Cuppa of Life Cafe. We're so excited for tonight. We've had a good little pre-warm up as well. Before we get into it though, make sure you do use the chat room, get involved, ask plenty of questions. Hey Megan, oh Sharni's, it's frozen, I know. Sharni, it's frozen, I know. Morning Jill, Lucinda, Liam, Philip, the rest of the crew. Please make sure that you do keep that chat room very vibey today. And like what we do all the time, we just want to make you aware that we are raising funds for the Australian Sports Foundation. You would have heard it for those regular guests, but 16,000 Aussie clubs are in danger of shutting down within the next 6 months due to COVID. A lot of the community clubs, that includes the rugby clubs, it includes rugby league, it includes volleyball, it includes anything out there. So please make sure that you do make a donation. Every little bit helps. And like I said, make sure you play nice, get involved, be interactive, ask plenty of questions, keep the conversation positive. But yeah, ask anything that you want tonight. And finally, please make sure that you share it across all your social channels as well. Take a screen grab when the girls come on and do share it and encourage people to join us. It's never too late to join the Cuppa of Life Cafe and be involved. Over to you, Kerri. I'm going to hand it over to you. And I'm going to park those gremlins. I'm going to go chase those gremlins out of the room.
Thank you, Luke. Now, I just read that somebody can't see anything. So if you're having any trouble tonight, just log out and log back in again, and you'll probably be back in and everything will be fine. So we've had a few gremlins over the last week or so. So hopefully that works for you. Now, welcome everyone, and welcome back everybody who's been on every night and a couple of nights before, a night here, a night there. And we've still got so much more to come. But tonight, we have such an incredible couple of women joining us. Now, if you knew the schedule, tonight would have been day 8 of the Summer Olympic Games in Tokyo. And on day 8, they would have played the Women's Rugby Sevens final. So tonight, I am so thrilled to bring these two women out. So if you can turn your cameras on, Sharni and Ellia, let's see how you go with that. There's Sharni! Yes! They're here. Can we hear you? Let's just check your audio.
Hey, Kerri.
Oh, Ellia, we can't hear you. Is your audio on? No, can't hear you. It's a good night tonight when things just are chopping and changing all over the place. While Ellia fixes her audio, I just want to explain for those of you who haven't been on before in the past, this is the Athlete Story powered by the Cuppa of Life Cafe. And here we bring you, during the period that the Olympics would have been on in Tokyo right now, we're bringing you athletes, gold medalists, world champions, incredible human beings every single night for 17 nights in a row. And as I said, today is day 8 of the Olympic Games, and we've got these two girls with us tonight. Ellia, how are you going? Can you say something?
Ellia, we'll get you to log off and log back in again if you can, please.
Yeah, we'll keep going. We'll kick off with Sharni, no worries. Now, we know that Sharni and Ellia are actually secretly, they're in the same house, but they're in different rooms because we wanted to keep them separate because they obviously are two individuals. But if there is a problem, we'll get Ellia to jump in with Sharni. Hey, Sharni, it's great to have you on tonight. How are you feeling that tonight would have been that night? Like, can you even imagine that you would have been in Tokyo tonight contesting for that gold medal?
Yeah, Kerri, it's I guess it's pretty mixed feelings at the moment. Obviously, the countdown for the Olympics was written on my hand, so I started that pretty early. And to think that we'd be standing up on a podium with the back-to-back gold, because that's what I envision every single day, is tough, because that's, you plan 4 years out to try and achieve something like that, and it's taken away from me. It's not because of injury, it's because of the world crisis that we're going through. But also it's a bittersweet. You can probably see that Ellia and I are repping the Warringah Rats. So we actually played our first game of 15s tonight. So we've come straight from the field and joined you here in the Cup of Life, having a good cuppa here. So as I said, it is that bittersweet being able to be back on the field is absolutely awesome. And to think that we got to be on the field together, knowing that that's where we would have been for the Olympics. But yeah, having it taken away is pretty sad because you've been working so hard for those 4 years.
Ellia, did you feel today when you were playing, like, did you get a pass from Sharni or give her a pass or go near her on the field today and just go, hey, this was our gold medal, like pass or match or try or whatever it was?
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Oh, great. Perfect. Unfortunately, we didn't actually get to play in the same half. Sharni played first half and I played second half. But, we were both very nervous before we got on the field. And, I was more nervous than I have been for a World Series, to be honest, because it's been that long since we played 15s. And it was actually my first game back since my rehab as well. So since I had surgery. And also having, so many memories from our previous Olympics and knowing that we're only a year out till Tokyo, there was a lot going through my mind leading up into this game today, that's for sure.
Yeah, and where were you when you heard, because I remember we kind of felt it coming a few months ago that, we're saying to ourselves, no, the Olympics are on, they're on, they're going to do everything they can to make us all safe, and then the next day, no, postponed. Where were you guys when you heard that?
Oh, well, I remember actually hearing it on the news. I'd come home from training and I saw the bar come up across the screen. And I went, nah, that can't be real. Surely that's not true. And then I got a message on my phone saying we were having a Zoom meeting and an invite to go in and get Raylene Castle, our CEO, was having a meeting with us to actually confirm that the Olympics had been cancelled to start with. And then we obviously got the news later that it would be postponed once everybody rallied around to try and figure out how it was going to look. So lucky I was in my home with my family to be able to look after me and console me, but it was a massive, massive shock.
How about you, Ellia?
Yeah, same Sharni, Kerri. I was actually at home. I live alone at the time, so I was actually just having a nap. I was sleeping and I got messages from my brother and my friends, and I didn't actually know what was going on because my TV wasn't working at the time, so I didn't see the news. I just got messages saying, are you okay, or do you want to talk or anything? And I was like, what's going on? And then I read the news. I was like, oh wow, and I saw the group message that we need to go on a Zoom call pretty soon after that. So it was a massive shock. It was a really, really big shock. I didn't think that it would actually happen, but yes.
Yeah, well, the good news is it has been postponed, and you guys, you're already starting to get into the energy of it and think about Japan. I know you're training really, really hard. Sharni, you were co-captain in Rio and you've been co-captain ever since. Do you feel an extra responsibility in taking care of the girls? And maybe, I don't know, is it the older girls that are kind of, thinking I've got to go another year, or is it the younger girls that are a little bit more like, we've got another year, it's all good? Do you feel that extra responsibility towards the team that you have to kind of put your arm around them and help them out?
Yeah, I guess you could see it as a responsibility, but that's just who I am. That's my nature. I'm that person that, rallies around people and cares about them. So I think that just sort of comes secondhand for me. But I also think that we're in a really great position. Yes, there's been a lot of changes and we've had to reset and we've had to, get our minds right. We've got another year. So you can look back in the past and sort of be bitter about it, or you can actually live in the moment and go, okay, what does it look like right now? And what's the future going to look like for me? And the future is that you actually get another opportunity to be able to go through and crisp everything up. We finished second in the World Series. with, you know, a couple of tournaments that needed to be played, but we'd had a second and 2/3, so that was pretty good for us. But it's also really cool for these young girls coming through, right? Because there's some girls that probably weren't even contention for the Olympics this year, but will now put their hands up for next year. And then it's also the other side of it where you've got some older girls that have actually gone, you know what, I was going to retire after the Olympics and I have set my future up and I'm actually going to just go and live life because I've served rugby really well. So I think, yeah, you've got those two ends, and then you've got the middle people like myself, you know, like I'm ready, I'm fighting fit, and I want to keep going and go out on a high with a back-to-back gold. So I think there's some really cool things coming out of it. But as I said, if you look back in the past, that it's probably going to haunt you rather than looking at the moment now and then into the future.
Yeah, I love that. A lot of people have asked me, you know, what is it like for the athletes? And obviously not being an athlete in that position, all I can see is the two different sides. One side feeling exciting, they've got another year, another side having to go, oh, I've got another year. Hey, but once a year, it just goes so quickly, but you just got to keep, you know, do the process, keep the dream alive. And I remember, Sharni, when I met you, I think it was at New South Wales Institute of Sport, we had a program where we were coming in and chatting to you guys, and you were really excited to see my gold medal. And then we had a photo together, you with my gold, and then it wasn't, you know, a year later, I'm in Rio, and I'm like, Sharni, I want a photo with your gold medal. So it was so cool, and now we're all part of that same club, you know, the same community, and we get to share, you know, those special moments together. So, you know, it's pretty cool that Rugby Sevens has been put into the Olympics. Do you know, Ellia, if it's here to stay? Has it been rubber stamped? Is it something that's going to be every 4 years, or is it still a little bit we'll see?
Sorry, what's that, Kerri? Were you referring to?
Do you know if Rugby Sevens is here to stay in the Olympics? Has it been given the rubber stamp?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely it is. And, you know, like I say it all the time, like, you know, the gold medal was obviously something that we'll cherish forever, but what's even more special to me, and I'm sure to many of the girls, is what we've done for our game and our sport, that yes, it is here to stay. And we've made history, not just for Australia, but for Rugby Sevens, knowing that it is going to be in the next Olympics. And, you know, as long as, I'm not sure how long it's going to be, but you know, we've made history for our sport, and that is even more special than the gold medal itself.
Yeah, and being the first ones to, you know, take that medal, you'll always be in history. Ellia, looking back on your road to Rio, some might say, and I think you've described it as being a little bit of fate. You know, it's more about the love of two people loving a baby, bringing you from Fiji, adopting you, bringing you back to Australia. Look how cute you are! Bringing you back to Australia and giving you a life.
That is so cute. So cute.
Luke's all sooky, he's got a couple of little kids, but giving you a life back here that's led to this. You know, how was that, you know, growing up knowing that you came from such a beautiful nation?
As you said, fate. Like, you know, I've always said that destiny has always played a huge part in my life. You know, falling into the arms of my my Polish Australian mother and my English Australian father. They adopted me in Fiji, pretty much rolled out of a coconut, and I just got really, really, really lucky. And that photo was taken in Pacific Harbour, which was where my parents bought a little villa for us to live in, and raised my brother and I there until we moved to Australia. So really was just so blessed and so lucky, because my parents were just exceptionally loving, and just amazing people, and I miss them dearly. They both have passed away now. But I honour them every time I play, and I just can't thank them enough for giving me the life that I have today.
And how is it when you go back to Fiji? Is it pretty cool? Is it pretty special?
Oh, sorry, I couldn't hear you that time. Say again.
That's all right. How is it when you go back to Fiji?
Oh, it is unbelievable, Kerri. Like it's unbelievable. It's goosebumps, really. Like, we went back there in November, was it, Sean? Or yeah, around then, and to play. And the way that they welcomed me back there, and our team is just unbelievable. I'll never forget where I came from, and yeah, I love the fact that I can represent both Fijian and Australian. It's very special to me.
Yeah, well, we're pretty happy that you came here, and but you didn't start playing rugby. Yeah, Sharni's pretty happy. You didn't start playing rugby. You actually started as a sprinter, and you were representing Australia in the 100, the 200.
Oh,
that
wow.
hair, incredible, and the long jump at the Junior World Camps. Why the switch to rugby? What happened? Because you were doing pretty well.
Look, it was actually just really lucky as well to be in the right place at the right time, because rugby, to be honest, was never ever on the cards for me. Like, I used to pass with my brother a bit, and he would beg me to, kick a ball with him, or like just tackle him, because my brother was a very good rugby player. But I definitely had my eyes set on track and field, and I was very obsessed with training for athletics. So, when that opportunity came up for Rugby Sevens, it was very unexpected, but it was, it was a dream come true for me to be able to play Rugby Sevens, but not track and field. So, very unexpected, but seriously a dream come true.
And Sharni, you were originally a cricket and a hockey player, pretty good at hockey, I hear. Why did you switch?
I guess it was the culture. I really enjoyed seeing rugby league. So I'd grown up around that in Batlow, watched the Batlow Bears, and then watched the Batlow Tigers play. And my pop that I never got to meet, so my mum's dad was a pretty amazing sports person, and yeah, I just sort of followed his footsteps, and he played a lot of footy. So I think it was when I was 20 was when I played my first rugby game, and now you see 8-year-olds running around playing rugby, which is absolutely awesome. So I made the switch from hockey to rugby in 2008, and then debuted straight away for the Wallaroos. So it's pretty crazy to think that, but I guess when you love sport that much and sport gives you so much, you can put your mind to anything.
I love how grateful you both are to everything that sport has given you and is still to give you. Like, you don't even know yet what's coming. It's pretty amazing. Sharni, you went, like you said, really quickly up in the ranks of rugby and representing Australia. What do you think the keys to your transition were? Were you just a natural rugby player, or was it because you played with your brothers or your friends in the backyard, or what was it that gave you that kind of edge and you got in pretty quick into the national team and off you went?
I guess I've probably got to thank my dad for that, because I'm just a driven person. I wanted to inspire him. I wanted to show him what I was worth, and I just kept trying to prove myself to him. And he's a pretty hard man. He's a country bloke, so it was just, okay, what's the next thing? How else can I do it? So once I got to rugby, I was like, all right, I'm going to figure out the ins and outs of it. I'm going to be driven. And then it was like, wow, I really enjoy this. I really love it. I love the community. I love the people. And I just found who I was. I found my identity, and that's what has made me successful, I think. When you're a whole person, you can actually achieve everything.
And do you think now that you've let go of stopping having to prove things to other people, and now that you're just proving that to yourself?
Yeah, well, I talk about the gold medal in that way. In terms of being an 8-year-old kid, I had that dream to be on the podium, and that 8-year-old kid was leading that dream all the way to Rio. And this is what the beauty of being able to go to another Olympics is, that I'm now a 32-year-old woman that has got all this knowledge from that, and I get to set this new goal. I get to make this next gold medal about me and my identity and what I've learnt, rather than that little kid trying to prove people wrong, because that's what I do. I'll show you and I'll prove you wrong. now I get to actually live that on my terms, which is really exciting.
Well, I know you're a pretty tough cookie. We've got a bit of a video that we want to show.
Oh no, here we go.
Yeah, this one. It's coming up in a sec. Oh, no, don't think it's frozen.
Oh no.
Looks like Australia. It's frozen, Luke. Bugger. Well, we've got a picture.
I'll try again. Hold on. I'll try again. I'll try again. It's too good to not play.
Australia.
So we see Williams' blood pouring out of the nose. That's how hard it is.
My own teammate.
These girls tend to
Is it working?
No, it's frozen again.
Bugger. Sorry.
Geez, the internet gremlins are really making it hard for us tonight. What happened there? You got smashed.
I went to clean out a ruck, and one of my teammates stood up and hit me in the nose. And if anyone has ever watched a game of rugby, I'll always have a bleeding nose. I lucky got away without getting a bleeding nose tonight. And I remember it clearly because it was raining. And Ellia.
Yeah,
it was raining, and we were actually at the World Cup for 2013, and it was crucial, right? So we had to win that game for us to get our funding from the government. So if we didn't win, I was the only one that kind of knew about that, being the captain. Didn't want to be able to tell anybody else, and I put my body on the line. You know, the kickoff came straight at me because I'd had my nose plugged up. And I remember it bounced off my knees, and me and Heather Fisher from England, massive girl, she's very strong. We pretty much both collided, and those plugs that I just had put in my nose come flying out. And then you'll see the next play, I switch under and score underneath the post, and that's pretty much our $20,000 try. And that was so special to us because we had lost to Spain, and it was pretty devastating to not make the final and lose to Spain. So we really had to pick ourselves up because we played within an hour after that. And then, yeah, that's what we got out of it. So, yeah, I can be a tough cookie, but I am a bit of a teddy bear off the field too.
You so are a teddy bear off the field. I'll vouch for that. I guess you could call that blood money when you go for the money. Actually, in those situations where our federations put us on the line and say, unless you finish here, or here, we're not going to be able to fund you or whatever. So I think that sometimes brings out the best in you, and obviously that's brought out the best in you. Ellia, I want to look at your, when did your dream to become an Olympian actually really start? Because were you already thinking of that when you were on the track, or did that come later?
It definitely came in my early days. I think I was kindergarten maybe, or year one. I was completely obsessed with running. I think I didn't have many friends at school at all. I was really quiet, believe it or not. I was really, really shy. And I guess I found myself when I ran my first athletics carnival. And my mum came to watch, and I was just looking out for her, and I didn't even care where I was running. I was just wanted to make sure she was watching me. And my whole life just revolved around impressing her. And then so I guess that's where it all stemmed from, and wanting to become the best at what I was doing, which was 100 meters, 100, 200 meters. And I just became completely obsessed. I think my mum bought me every single book and DVD about the Olympics. Definitely watched you perform, and super just idolized. Just got my words muddled because I was thinking about the 2000 Olympics and watching you guys as well. And yeah, just seeing Kathy Freeman, I wanted to be exactly like her. You know, she just changed Australian sport, and I read both of her biographies, and yeah, I had pictures of all my favorite athletes up on the wall, and I just knew that's what I wanted to do, and that's what I wanted to look like. So yeah, that's kind of where it all started out.
It's so cool because I know both of you are so involved with, you know, being role models in sport, and it's because you were both really inspired by these other women and men in your sports and other sports. And, you know, sometimes as athletes we forget how powerful we can be with what we've achieved and our success, and that's why, you know, and that's why I love putting this series together, because I want to share those stories to inspire the next generation. Ellia, when you debuted for Australia, you scored an incredible 80-meter try, and it was pretty cool to watch. I watched it today, yeah. And all of a sudden you were so famous, like it went viral. How did that kind of change? Like what changed in your life when that happened, or after that happened, you came back to Australia?
I actually find that try really quite painful to watch, if I'm honest. Like, it's not one that I look at and be like, oh yeah, like you killed that. I look at it and I'm just like, oh God, not this one again. Like, I don't know, even the commentary in it, like as soon as I score the try, the commentator says like, oh my God, when she learns how to play this game, she's going to be exceptional.
Well, he was right. He was right.
Yeah, so I was like, I don't know. I know I had a lot to learn that game, and like I know I was a lot skinnier in that game. So definitely, like whenever I see it or it comes up, I always, you know, have a bit of a flashback, because I'm like, wow, I could come a long way. Like I've learned a lot, and you know, I can just remember like idolizing players like Sharni, like, and the old school players that have literally been there since, you know, the very beginning. And you know, even still to think that, you know, we're going to be preparing for a second Olympics together, like that's so special, because I've looked up to Sharni since the very first day I walked into Australian rugby sevens, and that was in end of 2012. So yeah, seriously look up to Sharni a lot.
Well, because of that, I get. Oh, sorry, what was that, Sharni?
I said careful on the old.
We'll get to your age in a minute.
I meant young.
Ellia, because of that, I think they started to call you, or maybe before that, the Green Machine. Maybe that was your nickname for a long time. You're obviously pretty fast, and they've kind of dubbed you one of the fastest women, if not the fastest woman out there, you know, after Sharni. Are you getting faster? I want to know, is there still more? Can you push your body further, do you think?
Absolutely, Kerri. I'm sure you, of all people, would know that there's always more, and you know that I will never be complacent to where I'm at. Like I know I've had that many injuries, and you know, hurdles, like haven't we all? I think, but one thing I will never become is complacent. And that's in my training, in myself, my mental health, my physical health. So you know, even though there are a lot of challenges in the way, and yeah, a lot of hurdles to overcome, I'll never stop training and trying to get better. So hopefully I'm going to get, not hopefully, I will be faster by the time Tokyo comes.
You'll be faster, 12 more months, you'll be faster. A little bit of fun here. I found this pic today, and you've got a pretty strong body there. And I'm just wanting to maybe give you a little bit of career transition advice that, or a question is, do you think that you could go on to bodybuilding after? Is that something, I mean, maybe seriously, is that something that you want to do?
She jokes about it all the time.
Aha!
What was that, Sharni?
I said you joke about it all the time.
Yeah, look, the only thing I would struggle with, Kerri, is the strict eating, because I tend to indulge quite a lot, and yeah, I'm just I'm a carnivore. Like and that's not a big problem. I just think I'd struggle with the eating part. Yeah, but
doesn't look like it.
Yeah, it's definitely. I don't know. You should be asking Sharni that, because her biceps are actually bigger than mine.
There's those lemon biscuits, mate.
Yeah,
do you guys have kind of, no, Luke. No, Luke.
I can't. It's like stretching my shirt.
Do you guys have like pose offs together, or do you arm wrestle, or do you arm wrestle? Or is that just too dangerous? You pop your shoulder out or something?
Oh,
No, she just does 1,000 bicep curls every day.
You got to do the
thighs and tries,
shoulder
Kerri,
press as
thighs
well.
and tries.
Yeah,
Balance.
we'll be doing a gym session, and next minute she's over there doing bicep curls. And we're like, that's not in the program, mate.
Well, she's also pretty
You
good
gotta
at
do what
something
you
else.
gotta
We've got a little video of something. You've also got another talent. Let's see if this video works, Luke. Not that video. Where is it?
Hopefully this
Yo,
one
yo, yo.
freezes. I know what this is.
Is this?
I'm not sure if that's the one. It's a
Nah, not here, Kerri. Sorry.
We can just skip that.
well,
We had to do it live.
the video was going to be a little bit of you rapping. So instead of the video, can you give us a little sample? It's just the three of us, four of us here tonight. No one else is watching. Can you give us a bit of a rap? Have you got something like that you can just
Okay, just for you. Yo, yo, yo. I'd like to thank you for having me on the Cup of Life. You know, the Wi-Fi's been in a little bit of strife, but we're just going to work with what we got today because it's a beautiful day. I don't know.
There it is.
I love it. It's so good. And that wasn't rehearsed, ladies and gentlemen. She had no idea I was going to ask her to do that.
It was a bit dry.
Off the cuff.
Next time I will have something better prepared.
Next time, yeah. Good one. Hey, listen, girls, I know that rugby is very male dominated. So I want to kind of find out, what is it like when, for the public, when they talk to you about this male dominated sport? Can they believe it when they come and see? I know when I came and watched Sevens once, and I actually sat near the field and I heard you guys smacking into each other, I was like shocked at the brutality, for me, of the sport. How do you talk to people, especially young girls, about that?
Yeah, I guess it's pretty tough. Obviously, when it's said that it's a male dominating sport, and people go, "Oh, do women play that?" I kind of take offense to that these days. I'm kind of like, well, yeah, every human gets to go and do what they love and what they want to do. There should be no female or male. It should just be, okay, we're rugby players and we should be treated the exact same as everybody else. But yeah, when you do get some young girls come up and they're like, wow, like that's really hard out there. Like you hit pretty hard. It's like, yeah, but it's all technique. So if you can do it properly, you get your cheek on their cheek, you teach them the right ways, teach them how to fall, they're safe that way. So I think, yeah, there's ways that people go, oh, God, that's really rough and tough. And, yeah, it is, because you've got to be mentally on and you're going to want to put your body on the line. But when you have a connection with your teammates that you will go out there and you will fight for them, that's why you put your body on the line and you hit that hard. It's because you got that connection with them and because you love doing it. Ellia and I are both those people that love to get out and make those big hits and those tackles. But that's also, because our attitude is in the right way and our mindset is in the right spot. So once the young girls get out there and they can see what they achieve, it's like, wow. Because that's the thing, right? We put limits on ourselves. So you put a limit on yourself and go, oh, I can't do that. Like that looks too hard. But then you go and do it and you go, oh, actually, I am capable of doing that. Wow. So then you grow a little bit and then you go do it again. You grow a little bit more. So, and that's how we learn, and that's why we love it so much, is because it shows us who we are and what we're capable of.
Yeah, I love that. So well said. Growing and stepping out of your comfort zone a little bit more each time. But I definitely would say that I'm not the body type for your sport. You've also got to have the body type or build the body type to be able to, cope with a lot of...
We can also get you there. We could coach you.
Too late. Hey, speaking of being not too late, I mean, we talked about your age. We joke, 32, you're young, but as a rugby sevens player, where is that? Is that kind of normal? Is that where you're like peaking, or is that at the end of your career? How's that going for you?
Well, I guess if you look at it, like rugby is such a new sport, especially rugby sevens. Like the first World Cup for rugby sevens was 2009. So, we had Amy Turner that was in our team. She was 30 years old. I'm 32. So I am pushing the edge of it. And there is life after footy. And that's the thing, is what you've got to decide, are you still loving it? You're still enjoying it? Because if you're not enjoying it, then you're not going to give your best performance. And I'll tell you here right now is I'm absolutely loving it. And I am still, still competing alongside the younger girls as well. So I'm still getting numbers. I'm getting stronger. I'm getting faster. Like people say we got to look after the older athletes. I think that's where your prime is, where you start to figure out, as I said, I know who I am. I know what I'm representing. I know every time I go out there what I need to do because I've had all that experience and I've got everything sorted. You know that you have to have your nutrition sorted. You know you have to have your strength side sorted, your mental health, your physical. And all that is in great alignment at the moment. And that's why when the Olympics is cancelled, it's like, I'm in peak performance. Now I've got to line all that up for the next Olympics. So I'm going to keep pushing as long as I can, because when you're retired and you don't get to have that back. I'll always be an Olympian, always be a gold medalist. No one can take that away from me. But as I said, when you retire, you pretty much hang up those boots and it's time to give back to the community, not being playing.
Yeah, exactly. And you guys are such great role models. And I know how important that is to you. Finally, let's talk about a different sort of pressure going into Tokyo next year. Do you feel different at the moment, from where you felt 12 months ago? Do you think that the 12-month of prep, obviously it's going to look a lot different because there's a lot less travel, there's a lot less events to play. Emotionally, how do you feel? Do you feel stronger because you're going through this? Or do you feel still a little bit uncertain? Ellia, how are you feeling at the moment? Do you think the next 12 months is going to be very different in your preparation?
Yeah, Kerri, look, it's going to be very different. It's very unexpected, but I'm very understanding that it's different for the whole world. And, there's a lot worse going on in the world than having to wait another year for Olympics. So it's not really a massive concern. The main concern is just that people are safe and healthy, to be honest. But it gives us, another year to prepare. And, what's another year? We were literally just talking about the other day at training on Friday that how quickly that the time has gone even from a year ago now. So, the time's going to go very fast. So that's not really a worry. Me personally, it's giving me more time to work on my rehab. I'm out of rehab now, but if we were to play, this Tokyo was very close to me coming out of rehab. So it's giving me, more time to work on things and getting my body in the best physical position for our team. So that means a lot to me, to be in the best physical form and also emotionally as well. So if anything, I think it's a great thing, and we need to focus on the positives leading up to Tokyo, not thinking about the negatives and what we can't do. It's what we can do and how we can better everything else in this time in the pandemic.
Yeah, fantastic. And something that I've asked a lot of the athletes too, after winning a gold medal, everyone thinks that, everything's given to you and everything's free and we're all making so much money. You guys being, you're dubbed as professional athletes, but in terms of, what is available to you in income and the opportunity to maybe do some outside work, has it been tough? Do you think it's getting easier for women?
It's been very tough. Lately it has. Obviously we took a 60% pay cut. And yes, it was wise to be able to save our game. Our game was already in tough position. And I think for us, we now train Monday, Wednesday and Friday. We used to train a Tuesday half day, but we're enabled to do Tuesday and a Thursday and go to work, which is really great what John Manenti, our coach, has made available for us, just so that we can go and get that extra cash. And, you've got girls going back and teaching at schools. You've got some doing some labouring jobs. You've got a couple going and doing some coaching. I myself go and work at F45 in Avalon, being around the community and that sort of stuff. And I think that kind of has been good in a way to be able to get some life balance back on board, because you see some athletes that come straight from school and they haven't got any qualifications. They might be studying alongside with our RUPA, so our players union, help out with some going to university and funding some of their uni stuff, which is really, really great. But it's also, I guess if you look at it, I've been in the game for 12 years and I've seen it from its lows to where we were going and washing windows at stoplights and making cakes just so that we could fund ourselves to go to tournaments, to then getting paid, match payments, and then to becoming professional now. And, I want to save this game. I don't want it to go backwards. I want us to stay professional. And, the AIS has really, really helped us. We got a $2.2 million investment into our game, and that's kept us alive through COVID and things like that. And, they're the things that help us athletes survive and stay alive. It's not cheap renting in Sydney at all. So, and some girls live with each other, some girls don't, some girls have families. There's so many variables for all athletes, but definitely rugby. We've worked so hard since 2014 when we went professional to stay in there. And you've got people like Scott Bowen, that's our head program manager, that goes in and bats for us girls all the time. And that's what we need. We need those people at the forefront really fighting for us to keep that game alive and keep our dream alive too. We're an Olympic sport, and the Olympics isn't just about athletes going and competing. It brings the world together. There could be two countries that are fighting against each other, but when they're at the Olympics, they're competing against each other and they're brought together to help each other out and to congratulate each other. That's the beauty of what that can do. So I think keeping that funded is definitely what we need, and it has been a bit of a slog for us.
Yeah, beautifully said, Sharni. Beautifully said. Ellia, what are your plans post Tokyo next year? Are you going to continue playing, or have you got something else up your sleeve, like rapping or?
Look, MTV's been calling me nonstop, so just holding back on the record deal. Holding back on the record deal post Tokyo. Nah, jokes. Look, actually, it's some exciting news for me. Recently, I got accepted into university again. So I did nursing before I came over to rugby, but now I have just got into Macquarie Uni doing my Bachelor of International Security and Terrorism.
Oh, wow.
It's really exciting because I want to eventually work for the United Nations. So that's hopefully where I will be post Tokyo.
That is so cool. You could be working alongside of the Olympics, somewhere in the world at each Olympic Games because of your experience and looking after everybody.
Yeah, well, I'm hoping that I can make a difference in what I specialize in for whether it's in international aid or for the United Nations, government, whatever work it is. That's where my passion is post Tokyo. Yeah.
Very cool. What about you, Sharni?
I've got a few things up my sleeve. Always do. I've got some coaching that I've been doing. So through our Slow Coach virtual system, so I can be able to reach kids all over the world. And I definitely would have loved to have had that living in Batlow and have a coach that I could really lean on. So I'm part of that, which is really amazing. I love inspiring people. I love motivating people, and that's being a gym trainer. And then nutrition side of things. I love helping people be healthy and get their nutrition sorted. So I've got a few things lined up around there, maybe talking to some schools and that sort of stuff. I probably won't go back to mechanicking. That's a bit it's a bit too tough for me at the moment. I still do a few cars here and there and get a bit dirty and greasy. The stepson actually wants his car done tomorrow, so I think I've got the call up. But as I said, I just love learning. I love seeing where I can get to, and I think there's something definitely there for me after Tokyo.
Well, I'm sure your entire team and Ellia will vouch for that, and all of us hope that you stay involved in some way in a mentoring or coaching role, because you truly are inspirational, and you really have been a pioneer of this sport, as Ellia mentioned. And Ellia, you truly have been an amazing addition to this sport after you played around with athletics for a while. Hey guys, as we normally do, we have a 60-second sprint. So this is where I fire questions at you for 60 seconds, and you don't really have time to think. 1 or 2 word answers or a sentence, whatever comes to mind. So who wants to go first?
I'll go first.
Okay, all right. Okay, that was Ellia, right?
Sprint.
Yep, okay. Do you think you would have made it to the games as a sprinter?
Oh, yeah, maybe. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I can't answer
No
that.
fence sitting.
Did you sleep the night before the final in Rio?
No.
Did you, while you were awake, did you see yourself on the podium with the girls before it happened?
Yes, I did.
What's an example of the words that you say to yourself when you need some real inner motivation?
I say, come on, Ellia, you're even more stronger than you think you are, and if your mum can do anything, you can too.
Beautiful. Best part about the Olympic Village?
The unlimited McDonald's.
Best roommate and why?
Amy Turner, because she gives the most harsh feedback.
She gives the most harsh feedback. We got that. Cool.
Oh, yes. Yeah. Oh, did it stop the timer?
Yes, timer stopped. 60 seconds. It went real quick. That was good, though. That was good. Great answer.
Oh, perfect. Great.
Your turn. 7s or 15s?
Oh, that's a hard one. 7s.
Oh, good answer. How did you feel once you'd qualified for Tokyo in 2 words?
Absolute amazing.
What's the word? Oh, sorry. No, forget that one. Did you visualize winning gold the night before?
I still do. It's part of me. I've done it since I was 8.
Awesome. Are you a good or bad loser?
Bad.
Music or talking to your teammates before a match?
Ooh. Talking to my teammates.
Curious, and this is one for both of you. Did you know the words for the national anthem before you won gold?
Yes.
Ellia?
Yes.
Good. I'll tell you why later. I didn't in Atlanta. That's why we didn't win. Best thing that's happened to you since you've won gold?
The stories from the kids.
How about you, Ellia? Best thing that's happened to you since you won gold?
Best thing that happened to me, God. That's really hard. There's been some pretty devastating things that's happened since then. But
what doors have opened? What doors have opened for you because of your success?
Oh, okay. Look, lots of things. Mainly just the biggest thing is the growth of our game. Like, to be honest with you, like, we barely had any like coverage or anything, didn't we, Shans? Like,
yeah.
Before Rio. So coming off the back of it and having people talk about our game and our team, and just, see us as, the golden girls of the Olympics, winning the rugby sevens for Australia. Like, I can't get enough of hearing all the stories about how their daughters are now playing, how all my school was watching, and just hearing how stoked and how happy we made the country. Like, that's the best thing that's come off since then, for sure.
Amazing. That's so cool. Luke, do you want to come back in? There's a few questions that have come up in the chat box. Do you want to?
Yeah. Before I kick it off, you girls are absolute legends. Like, you're so humble. We got such great comment. Like seriously, like that. For me, that was probably one of our best chats. And don't worry about Lane Beachley or the rest of them. Like,
Oh, wow.
I'm joking. But in all honesty, that was brilliant.
She had a great backdrop.
She did have a couple of World Cups, world titles sitting behind her. Like,
Is that all?
7 or 8.
Just 8, 7, 8, just a little bit. No, but seriously, like so humble and awesome. We got a few questions popping in. So Joe's asked, are you all training together as a team again due to COVID, and how do you keep motivated? Well, you've answered a bit of the motivation part, but how are you still training together?
Yeah, so as I said, we train Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays together. Some girls go in on Tuesdays as well and do some one-on-one stuff with the coaches or do some gym. But yeah, we're back training, and we've probably been back since June training. So we've got a little bit of an edge over the top of some of the other teams. I know that USA haven't trained together since March. So
right.
Yeah.
I love this question, and it's for you, Sharni. Rob Evans has asked, it's a gold medal match. There's 30 seconds left to play. You're down by 2. You have possession. What do you say as captain in a team huddle to inspire the victory?
I'm going to get you,
That's
Rob.
probably the best question of the series too, by the way, like so far as well.
Oh, rough. 30 seconds to play, down by 2.
Yeah.
Well,
give it to me.
Give it to her. Give it to Ellia. Just swing the ball to Ellia and let her do her business. But it'd be like, stay composed. We're still in this game. 30 seconds left. Don't have to do too much. Keep to the basics. Give it to Ellia. Let her score.
Yeah. Ellia, remember your game against Canada.
Just let her go.
Let her go. What is your, like, before COVID, what's your day-to-day training schedule like? And that's for you, Ellia.
Oh, normal day is very, very long. It's a 6:30, 7 o'clock check-in, which is pretty long process, if I'm honest with you, because it's like preparing to train, checking in with your body weight, checking in with the medical staff, making sure you're fit to train. So the process before even training is like 2 hours, because you're preparing and you're also in meetings and talking about what we're going to do for the day. And once we get out on the field, we're on field for about 2 hours roughly, sometimes a bit over. And then we have lunch together, and then we're back in the gym. And then we're in the gym for about an hour and a half to 2. And then after that, we do skills in the indoor room, which is called gold class sessions, which is focusing on, specific to your position or you. And then after that, it's recovery and finishing the day, which is usually about 4 o'clock-ish. So it's a normal day is about 7 to 4. Is that about right, Shans?
Yeah.
Yeah, wow. Jeez, most people wouldn't even realise that,
No, I didn't.
Really long day.
There's a lot of effort.
Really long day.
Before I cross back to you, Kerri, what was that?
Sorry, I said it's 2 hours in the gym because Ellia stays back to do biceps.
Yeah, the bicep curls. Yeah, totally. Look at those. Thank you for joining. I'm going to cross the Kerri back in a second, but like what you guys were talking about, Australian Sports Foundation is who we're supporting through the Cuppa of Life Cafe over these 17 days. Please make sure you make a donation. You've heard from the girls today about how tough some sports are doing, even these professional ones as well. But you've got all the community clubs that are in danger, and that's one of the things that the Australian Sports Foundation is looking to support. So please do make sure you make a donation there as well. So over to you, Kerri, to finish it all up, and no doubt you've probably got another quote for today, and I can't wait.
You like my little motivational quote?
I like your little motivation quote, my friend. I like it.
Gets everyone off to bed. Hey girls, thank you so much. It's been such a pleasure learning to get to know you both more. I hope Australia gets to know all of you, the entire team, a lot more in the lead up to Tokyo next year. We know Tokyo is going to be on. We know that you guys are going to smash it. We're also visualizing your gold medals with you. So thank you so much. Thanks for being friends of mine, and thank you so much for coming on tonight.
Thanks for having us.
I just want to thank both of you so much. Like, this is what it's about, and this day is what we're looking forward to. Obviously, it's been pretty tough. But, having a platform like this to be able to show who we are as athletes, because at the end of the day, we're just humans. And, people see us as these bright, mighty athletes, but as I said, we're just humans at the end of the day, just like you guys. So thank you for the platform, and thank you for everyone joining in and asking questions.
Thanks, guys. And if you're having it tough or you're doing it tough right now, just remember you're tough too.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
That's good. Please give a wave of gratitude to the girls today, and we'll catch you later, everyone. We'll see you later. See you tomorrow night. Bye.
Guys.
Bye.